Hello everyone, welcome to Master and Tackle in Cloud. So this is me and my journey of pursuing certification and learning new skills every day. So I decided to just come up with this public learning routine whereby I share with you guys what I've been learning as I undertake my certification on my new skills and learning new things. So it's called Master and Tackle in Cloud. But my approach is different. You guys are learning with me, and you guys are seeing the mistakes I make, and you guys are seeing me learn something and build something at the same time. And you can be able to follow it and contribute also. So, what I do is I get a topic, get a real world use case, and then design the use case and solution using the topic, and then document the process step by step. I come up with something and do it and tackle it. That's why it's called Master and Tackle in Cloud. So today I learned about EC2 instances, refreshed my knowledge on EC2 instance deployment and security groups, core concepts including logic on EC2 instance, security groups, and SSH. So I came up with this use case whereby a startup needs to quickly deploy a web server for their MVP, ensuring only authorized users can access it securely over the internet. So that's the use case. So the use case, I deploy a Linux EC2 instance, configure security group to allow only SSH port 22 and HTTP inbound rules port 80 access and connect to the instance from a developer's laptop. So the overview is I launch an EC2 instance, create a security group and assign inbound roles, specific ones, and then get my key pair and then connect the instance using SSH. So let's do it. The steps are here, but we're gonna do it. Let's go to AWS. So here, so I'm at my console and I go directly to my EC2 instance. So my approach usually is I usually like creating the security group first, right? So I navigate to the security group and I create my security group. There's this one that I created called Tackle It. So let's check it out. So when you check the inbound roles, we can decide. Let me just create another one. Let me create a security group. I call it Tackle It 1. Then to allow SSH access and SSH and HTTP access. And just I'm gonna use a default VPC for now. And then I'm gonna add an inbound role. The first one is SSH, and it's gonna be anywhere. Then I add another one to give HTTP access. Then just no custom anywhere. You can choose to allow inbound through only your IP, right? So that's the essence of a security group, right? So yeah, the main essence of a security group is more of just to act as a firewall, right? And it's best practice to create a separate security group for SSH access, right? And by default, all inbound traffic are blocked and all outbound traffic are allowed, right? That's by default. So you can choose to allow only specific IP to access your instance and others not to access your instance. So we have configured our security group. It's already created. Now we go launch our instance. I'm launching my instance. This was really fun. We're learning together. So if it doesn't work, no problem. I call it tackle it one inst. Just tackle it instance. The first instance one. Sorry. And then I choose just a quick start on Amazon Linux AMI, and then the instance type. So there are different types of instance type, and I created a blog just to help you understand different instance type and what instance type is best for your workload. And as you can see, different instance type are actually meant for different. So for you to select the right instance type, workload checks high processing power, high performance workload like batch processing, require compute optimized instances. Running in memory database requires memory optimized instances. If your application requires high speed, low latency storage, you know what to choose. And for machine learning, have one. Also, the performance versus cost, scalability and flexibility, network and latency, depending on a business use case. So, tips is usually start small, then scale, and then I'd suggest you use AWS free tier just like me. So, and then the key pair, you create a new key pair. So if you're using Windows, you use the ppkr to access your instance using putty. But for me, I'm going to access it through Linux, and I'm calling it an inst1 pair. And then I create the pair. It will download the pair. And then the network configuration. Let me check my network, VPC default. And then we already have an existing user group, a security group, and then I choose my security group, tackle it one, and then the storage, I'm just gonna choose the normal one, the free tier one, so that I'm not charged. And then I'm gonna have a user data just for an MVP. Like we said, the startup requires just a quick web server for our MVP. So I have attached some user data, simple one. Then I'm gonna launch it. The instance is being launched, and then we head back. Now it's time to access. Let's check our instance. When you check our instance, it's running. So this is a public address. You can be able to access and see it. We're able to see the instance. Remember, access is only HTTP. We're able to see it. You can be able to access your instance through. Let's access it and see. But remember, it's HTTP. We've only allowed the HTTP access, so we have a site here. You can be able to see it. Then now let's access it through Linux, right? We want to SSH into our Linux through SSH to access our instance through SSH. So let's try. So yeah, I have a WSL Windows subsystem for Linux. I'm using Windows, but I want to access it through Linux. So let's try and access it. Make a directory. I call it AWS tackle. And then I'm gonna just go into my directory. Sorry. I'm just gonna go through my directories. Call it AWS tackle. And then I'm gonna check for the files that are there. Let's confirm. Yeah, it is there. So we have a key pair there. Make sure that your key pair is actually inside the folder you're trying to access, right? So let's actually access ssh-i. It's called inst1 pair, the file, and then ec2 user at. We have to get our actual IP address, public IP address, which is this one here. Then we access it through that one. Let's see. So yes. So permission denied. What is the problem? It's trying to access it and it can't be able to access it. So what can I do? I change the mode to this one, AWS tackle. No, I'm sorry, the key pair is one paired, and then I try to access it again. Yeah, and boom, we can be able to access our instance, right? Boom, we can be able to access our instance. Let's see, who am I? easy to use. You can see, can be able to access it. Let's try ping maybe facebook.com. Yes, it's trying to ping it. We can end it like I don't want it, and then you can log out if you want. So thank you very much. That was me trying to learn how to deploy a simple EC2 instance with a simple MVP and how I can be able to access it through my laptop as a developer. I can now access my instance, now I can configure it and do a lot of things from there. So that was my first session. I really enjoyed it. So I hope you guys also will enjoy it. Thank you.